Hey viewers, today we'll be playing Forza Horizon 5 in multiplayer, and more specifically, Horizon Tour, which is personally my favorite version of the online gameplay, even though it is actually more difficult to get into that playlist because, well, you only have it only rotates like once every 2 minutes in terms of like class and presets and requirements like that. And this one was S1 Modern Muscle, so I decided to take my power built RTR Mustang. Now, I don't think this is a proper power build, but I did manage to fully upgrade the engine if I remember correctly, and I was using racing slips, but no aero, and it is quite fun. It's not anywhere near the meta, I don't think. I don't think power build is already meta, but they are quite fun to drive. This car was definitely a drifty type. But the next few races, which is after 4th and 5th, is 4th and 5th races, I will be using the Zenvo TSR-S and Horizon Open, which honestly I really don't like because of the fact well, I think in Street Scene they did disable collision, so I did like those. That was a pretty cool addition, but it basically just takes forever to matchmake because today it took me like 12 minutes before I can actually find an S2 road lobby. It kept giving me A class dirt, B class mixed terrain, I think it's called, and S1 class wet, and I didn't really feel like using any S1 cars. I felt like using my Zenvo TSR because I've never tried it online before. Anyway, if you're wondering about why the graphics changed midway, it's because I was experimenting with graphics options to try and get the game to stop stuttering, as this game is kind of run like spaghetti code, and by that I mean sometimes it just decides to stop using the GPU for whatever reason, and so my entire PC just freezes. Not my entire PC, but the entire game just freezes. And sometimes it can be so bad that I won't even be able to start a race because of it, because it was lag at the very beginning, and well, if your game's frozen, you don't know where you're going, and that is the main problem. But back to the game. Now, I'm not exactly sure about how I feel about Forza Horizon 5. It is quite a fun game, but only when you're playing online, as it gets really stale really fast, and that's the problem with Forza Horizon games. They're so made to appeal to the casual audience that it does kind of get boring if you're a player that likes playing circuit racing games. Like, especially since these roads, you can barely fit like 4 cars side by side. And even then, there are some cars that are even wider than that, so you might have problems with that. And I honestly don't like that idea. I think it is kind of a flawed concept because, well, what if there's like a 3-car wide thing and someone's trying to pass? Well, what are you gonna do? If you're gonna go off-road, chances are you might slide out and hit a wall, which I do at the end of these 3 races, ironically. Now, in these Horizon Tour races, I don't show off the, where you're supposed to drive to the different locations, but it is a feature. And it is quite a chill game mode. I really do like it. Everyone's so, sat back and they don't really want to crash you or stuff like that. Unless they do, in which they're kind of ruining the experience for everyone. I think this engine itself is designed to be like as chill as possible. And Horizon Open, I honestly think like, sure, it's a good idea and concept, but the fact that it's random every time, it is kind of annoying because, well, what if you want to race in a specific class and that class only, and on that specific type of discipline? I honestly don't feel like off-roading in a track hypercar, honestly. I don't think a Jesko would do very good off-road on racing slicks and full aero. I just don't think that's how it works. Anyway, as we finish this first race, well, we do get first, and the Corvette unfortunately disconnects. But I don't think we lose any points because of that. Yeah, we did not. Now, I'm not exactly sure what AI are set to in Horizon Tour, but I do think it's like somewhere in expert because these don't feel like unbeatable. They don't rubber band like it. And on to the second race, it's just the 2 Mustangs, the RTR and I think the 2018 GT. Now, I do see that at my school, ironically, and yeah, I think it belongs to a teacher because it's always parked there, the exact same spot every day, and that's pretty cool. I don't take pictures of people's cars though. Anyway, onto this race, you will see this rear-wheel drive versus all-wheel drive, and you will see that man just take off like a rocket compared to my RTR. I think that's like Asphalt 9 level acceleration. It was like, let me think of a car to use an example, like SCG 007 versus this Honda R. It's funny, but I honestly don't really have that much to talk about, so I'll probably just leave these to some music, and I will see you guys at the end. So my general thoughts on these cars are, well, I don't think I'll be able to transfer these over from Asphalt 9 since, well, it is a different game. So it, well, as that's okay, just disappears out of existence. Okay then. So these cars, well, first of all, the RTR Mustang FH5, power build rear-wheel drive, at least that's how I think it is. Very fun. Meta, absolutely not. Should use it competitively, no, but it is quite a fun car, as I've said like 20 times before. So if you'd like to try it out, then I'm assuming put on slicks, weight reduction, somewhat weight reduction, keep it rear-wheel drive, put on your normal race suspension, race anti-rolls, race transmission. Optionally, I also could recommend sport transmission. Race differential, tune that accordingly to how you like it. Race slicks, thick tires, space them out if you can. I forgot if you could, and max out the engine if you can. And for the TSR-S, well, I just maxed it as best as I could. I don't really know how I tune it. I did put max min aero, so it might be a little bit dangerous to drive, but very fun, very fast. Not a good car though, because the CCGT exists, and that is a literal god car compared to how it used to be in older Forza games like Forza Motorsport 3 and 4, where it was a literal death trap. So I truly hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope to see you in my next one. Maybe leave a like, commenting, joining my Discord if you really want to, or subscribing if you enjoy my content. And I'll see you all later.